Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and Handshake Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Jayden and coming to you from the Sound Peak Audio and Design Studios here in Topeka, Kansas, with my co-host, as always, Shane Price. Shane, how you doing this week?
I'm good.
All right. This week for the collar and elbow, here I got to turn my computer away from you because I have the answers. Instead of doing kind of more of an opinion-based thing, I'm asking you some trivia. So we got two questions here.
Okay.
First, can you name all three of the teams that have won titles in WWE, TNA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling?
As a team?
As a team. Just two-man teams.
The Good Brothers.
Yep.
MCMG, because they just won it last night.
Yep, they just won on SmackDown. I can give you a hint if you need it.
The Dudleys.
Yep, there you go. You got it. Now, part two, we're going to replace TNA with ROH. So can you name the four teams that have won titles in WWE, ROH, and New Japan?
Morrissey again.
Yep.
Gallows and Anderson again.
Nope.
No?
They never won in ROH.
Damn. DIY. No.
No.
O'Reilly and Fish.
Yep. Red Dragon / Undisputed Era. Yep. Once again, I do have hints if you need it.
GOD?
No. They haven't won Ring of Honor.
I think that's the toughest one. I think I'm one hint. 2 hints, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, one hint that includes both of them is think NXT. They've both been NXT Tag Team Champions. Black and Gold era.
Oh, man. War Machine.
Yep, War Machine. Now your last one. I believe they won the NXT tag, the Raw tag, and the SmackDown tag.
And they're in Ring of Honor?
They won the Ring of Honor titles. They won the New Japan titles, the heavyweight titles.
Revival?
Yes, FTR Sister Revival. So you got all of them. And you'll notice one team was on both of those lists.
MCMG.
The only team in history to have won tag team titles in WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, and New Japan.
I mean,
Legends.
let's include their indie ones too at that point.
Yeah, that doesn't even include GCW or, I mean, I can probably go find the whole thing here. I know they won GCW. I know they won DPW on the indies. So they were Impact champions 3 times. They won both the IWGP Junior tags and the Strong Openweight tags. And then they won the AAW tag team titles. So, yeah.
Shout out to AEW, by the way.
Yeah.
Good show, Chicago Windy.
So, on to AEW. And outside the ring news, it was announced by CMLL that Willow Nightingale is sidelined with a concussion. So usually that's only a couple weeks, unless it's a really bad one. So hopefully we should see her back soon. Also out for 2 weeks, Hologram was injured, unfortunately. So we'll see 2 weeks.
That is a great loss for Collision, I'll be honest.
Yeah. In kind of a news story that kind of was swept under the rug, I don't think got a lot of traction, but Adam Cole confirms that he has broken up with Britt Baker.
I guess it's just nice to confirm it, I guess.
It had been rumored for a long time.
It was rumored for like about 2 months now, so.
So that is true. So no more, booking MJF to attack Britt Baker.
When he moved to Pittsburgh, when he moved to Philly again, there's something up.
Yeah. And then just made official today, Full Gear 0 Hour, Costco Dad versus QT Marshall.
That match is a double chunk hooky. No, it's 5 booms. Boom, boom, boom. Feel free to stop whenever you want. Boom, boom. Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said 5 booms.
All right. Crazy. Insane that we're going from that to the next item on my news list because we're going to WWE now.
Oh, God.
Who are being sued once again now for the Ring Boy scandal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're horrible. We're horrible.
I should have listed this in a better order.
I would get 5 dooms.
Yeah.
But
So the surviving victims of the Ring Boy scandal are suing WWE, Vince McMahon, and Linda McMahon.
I want to give a shout out to Terry Funk for beating the shit out of the guy who did the stuff in his debut for WWE.
Nice. That's crazy. I can't believe we. I don't know. We will have Jolka on the podcast later, and he is in the room and asked who didn't survive. And apparently one of them did not. One of them is not currently with us.
One of them ended up just killing themselves because of after many years after. So
okay. Some way more upbeat news. Dawn Marie will be returning to WWE to be the special ref for Lola Vice versus Jada Parker at the NXT.
I feel terrible for laughing at this, but Costco guys
into
Mel Phillips, the pedophile, Dawn Marie.
Yeah, it's been a weird news week. All right, I don't control the news. I just write it down.
You control what way you put it down. Shit.
So yeah, so we will be seeing a Dawn Marie return. Any interest in that at all? Or?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
What other NXT ECW crossover would you want to see?
I know on the ride over here you were picking up funny ones like Jason Sexiest Man Alive, or Chris Chetty.
Yeah, Roadkill.
Roadkill. Honestly, you had a good one with the FBI and the Don family.
Yeah, the D'Angelo family.
That
FBI.
makes so much sense. Give me Lil Guido and maybe Vito.
You do still have some in-house. Steve Corino, Rey Mysterio, Rob Van Dam's on a Legends deal, Foley, Dreamer's working with TNA, and they've been doing the NXT-TNA thing anyway,
Johnny
so you could get Dreamer.
Swingers working with TNA.
Looks like we're going to get a Dudley's thing, because it looks like Bubba might be teaming with Trick Williams against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland.
And I'm assuming that Devon will get involved somehow.
Yeah, if Bubba's there, there's no way Ethan Page doesn't get put through a table.
Spike gets thrown off of the roof.
Spike Dudley showing up would be awesome. I don't know.
No, I really want to know is we're gonna get Faith No More guy, Vladimir, all the HCA super fans in the building. That's what I want to know.
That'd be kind of cool. And then Samantha Irvin, we kind of reported last week. It was breaking news right before we recorded the show. She revealed that she was leaving WWE, and she has recently revealed that she left because she just didn't like announcing. She was incredibly good at it, but she just didn't.
It became too important at her job, and it sucked.
Yeah, when she got into WWE, she wanted to be a manager or a GM, and ended up getting the announcing job. Real Nikola Jokic vibes.
She could make a good GM though. Let's be honest.
No, she would be great at either of those roles
because GMs have their signature line. One-on-one with the Undertaker, holla holla, and other stuff from.
Those were just Teddy Long.
Is there a better example of a GM?
No, there's not.
I guess Bischoff, but Bischoff didn't have really a line.
Yeah,
he was kind of an asshole.
So that's why she left. She's probably not going to go announce at AEW. She's not going to do. If she shows up there at all, I think it would probably just be involved like a one-off involvement in a Ricochet storyline of some sort.
I think she could go to AEW, but with the caveat that she's not going to be a full-time announcer all the time.
What if she just manages Ricochet?
Personal ring announcer Ricochet.
Personal ring announcer / manager / valet / whatever.
Bring back the Ricardo Rodriguez type role.
Yes, Alberto Rio's wife, Ricardo Rodriguez.
We're popping Jolka over there. We're popping Jolka.
So, I mean, I think they are going to. I think she's going to go into something else, whatever she.
Oh, she's stopping her music career. So I mean, she has a great voice. Obviously,
yeah, she can play the flute. She's like like an expert flautist.
There you go.
For some reason, yeah, she's a crazy talented person. It's insane. On to other company news. We got a little bit of New Japan and then a bunch of TNA on here. So first, I want your reaction to the first match that has been booked for Wrestle Kingdom 19. The Ace, the President, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus everyone's favorite House of Torture member, Evil.
I'm going to find Gato and kneecap him.
Luckily, this is not the Tanahashi retirement match. This is kicking off the retirement tour. So it's not that bad. Could be worse.
Nothing missing in pizza news. Noah's the women's title.
Oh, I didn't throw Noah's women's title on here. We don't talk about Noah a lot, but yeah.
It's the first company to have a women's title that's just kind of faded their own product, I guess, because New Japan's is like that's a stardom belt.
Yeah, it's a stardom belt with the IWGP tag.
I guess this could be a Tokyo Joshi wrestling thing, but like even then, that's really good wrestling. You're gonna learn really fast. Miyu Yamashita in St. Louis.
Yep. And then from TNA, a couple things from the TNA taping, couple injuries. Chris Bay was stretchered off after a concussion. Apparently he was knocked out cold in the middle of the ring.
He was definitely, I think, the worst.
It was him and Ace Austin versus the Hardy Boys. And, yeah, he was just knocked out cold and had to be stretchered off. Unfortunately, I love Chris Bay, so that it sucks to see.
Second one, they're going to mention even worse.
Bad suit, yeah. Vikingo stretchered off with a leg injury. He's no word on what the actual leg, like what the injury was. We just know it was his leg, and we know he said he'd be fine.
Fifth match back, by the way.
Fifth match back from another injury?
Yeah, from another leg injury, by the way.
Yeah. Dude, he's going to be like Rey Mysterio in those old Don't Try This at Home ads where he's like, I've had surgery my left knee 12 times.
My left knee.
Yeah. Speaking of the Hardy Boys, though, they won the TNA tag titles.
Yeah.
Which is, it's cool. I mean, I'm at the point where, like, with TNA, I'm not mad that the Hardys won that. I think it's kind of nice.
You're going to be mad about the X Division title, though.
Yeah, I saw a leak that was like, I can't believe this person just won the X Division title, and I saw a picture, and it was like the back of a guy, and I was like, this could be 50 guys.
Moose.
It was Moose?
Moose.
Oh, I don't care.
Moose defeated Mike Bailey for the title.
I don't like that he took it off of Mike Bailey, but I don't hate Moose as much as you do. So that doesn't like
it's more of an
I'm not like going to go on a rampage.
It's an indifference to Moose, but I can't believe Mike Bailey lost the belt in like a day.
I don't know, maybe that Mike Bailey contract's about to end. Maybe
that's a
maybe
game
that
changer
Tony
right
Khan
there.
money's about to come through the door.
No.
What? He's not going to
Maple Leaf. Maple
Leaf's not going to have exclusive guys.
He's Canadian.
Not yet. It's too new of a company.
He's not going to be exclusive anywhere. I think he's not going to be exclusive. That's my take.
And then you'll love this though. Masha Slamovich wins the TNA Knockouts
I do
title
love that. Yes.
In a match with Jordan Grace that I heard it was pretty good.
It was a pretty good match. All things considered.
Yeah, I heard that match in the Mike Bailey Vikingo match really delivered.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who, but I did see someone say that Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry was better than expected.
It wasn't. All things
wasn't
considered,
terrible.
it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't like the finish because I thought the wrong guy went out. The wrong guy went over.
Mm-hmm.
But for Nick Nemeth after WWE, I really liked most of his matches.
Yeah.
This wasn't that bad.
He's pretty good in the ring. Like he's always been good in the ring.
All things considered, he is better in the ring and he's letting himself be right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree.
Yep. He did say he wants to face Tanahashi again on the retirement tour. So I think that'd be really cool to see. Honestly, I think he'd be a fun, like, kind of like a G1 guy.
Yeah.
That guy you know is not going to win, but he wins like 2 or 3 matches kind of guy. I don't know. That'd be fun. But speaking of the G1 and New Japan, we are in the midst of the Super Junior Tag League. So we'll talk about how our teams have been doing. Of course, I picked the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. You picked the randomly thrown together team of the DKC and Ninja Mac.
Of course. Ninja Mac rules.
So do you want to start or do you want me to go?
I guess I'll start. 1-1 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Not that horrible. You know, we got a win that was probably going to happen no matter what against the Australian team, and a loss to a team that we expect to lose to. So it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with where we're at.
Yeah, you do have the match that happened this morning against the Intergalactic Jet Setters. I mean, I if we decide to go over the standings at the end, I might have to kind of spoil that for you. But
I mean, I already know the results, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, so yeah, you did lose there, so it's going to be 1 and 2. You haven't gotten to watch that match yet because it just happened, like we said this morning.
Right.
For us, it's also had a match this morning against Tiger Mask and Captain Subasita that I haven't gotten to get to, but we did win that. So 3-0 over here in War Dog Country. Versus House of Torture, I kind of noted that our major weakness is going to be arrogance. Just two cocky guys, Clark Connors and Joe Maloney. But they've kind of earned it. Like, they've been the best team in the junior tag division all year.
Would you say that if it was Jake Lee and Gabe Kidd?
That they've earned it?
Yeah.
No, because they haven't teamed at all. You know what I mean? Like I'm only saying this about Drilla and Clark Connors because they've been teaming like all year. They've been leading the junior tag division. House of Torture is the most annoying team in the league. True or false?
I agree.
Yeah, I just don't like their. I don't like their style of wrestling.
My poor boy Dragon D got hit with a skateboard.
Yeah, but ultimately War Dogs took care of business. Nobody has tag offense like the War Dogs. They have a chemistry.
Kanemaru 20 years ago.
Yeah, but just the guy in this tournament, in this league, like just nobody has it the way they do. Versus the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles, and Kosei Fujita. Just whenever these teams lock up, it's great. I felt like we were in control for a lot of the match, and it took way too much for us to finish it. Like, it should have been finished a lot earlier. So I think two good wins. A good win against the Sweet Boys, and just also a nice kind of pace-setting win for against House of Torture. So this week, like I said, we got Tiger Mask and Capitan Suicida. We got Taguchi and Dragon Dia, and we got LIJ.
He can win a single one of those matches against Dragon Dia. Calling it right now. He's going to get the shock victory again.
Yeah. And you got the Intergalactic Jet Setters. The team of Yo and Rocky Romero, which I've dubbed Roppongi Thrice. The mix between Roppongi 3K and Roppongi Vice. And Catch 22. So what are your thoughts on that upcoming schedule?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
I mean, you got the junior tag champions. You got Rocky Romero, one of the most experienced junior tag competitors in this tournament. And then Catch 22, who are going to need that win. So standings-wise, in the A block, which is where my War Dogs are, we're 3-0 with 6 points. The Sweet Boys and House of Torture are both 2-1. And then LIJ and Taguchi and Dragon Dia are 1-2. And then Tiger Mask and Capitan Suicida are 0-3. Over in your block, 2-1, we got Roppongi Thrice, Bullet Club's Taiji Ishimori and Robbie X. And then the Intergalactic Jet Setters, 1-2, Catch 22, DKC, Ninja Mac, and the Velocity. So very close. Everybody's right around 500. Like everybody's 1-2 or 2-1 in your block. So no clear favorite has stood out there yet. Obviously, I think you got to lean towards the Jet Setters because they are the tag team champions. So they kind of have that. And over in our block, we're on top, and kind of scared of Eagles and Fujita. They're really good. They're really, really good.
Just don't have to mess up and it'll be fine.
Yeah, just don't mess up. On to the TV of the week. On Dynamite, what did you think of the Kyle Fletcher shaves his head segment?
I thought it was really dumb, to be honest.
Really dumb? Like good dumb or bad dumb?
Good dumb.
Okay. Because it was something.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I like that he's trying to differentiate himself from Will Ospreay. I think that's a good... this is a good response to the criticism that he's kind of just a knockoff Will Ospreay. I think a lot of people kind of had that idea of him, and this is a good way to differentiate yourself, really have a different look. You know, I think someone said he looks like Desmond Wolfe, which was Nigel McGuinness's TNA character, if you guys don't know.
He kind of does.
And then we have a new Ring of Honor World Champion. And it is the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Chris Jericho.
Over Mark Briscoe in a ladder war? That's all to say about it.
The sentence, Chris Jericho defeats Mark Briscoe in a ladder war for the Ring of Honor title, is something that never should have been able to be said.
I agree.
You go back and you tell a Ring of Honor fan in 2010 that that's going to happen and their head explodes. Like there's just no way. Speaking of Ring of Honor guys, Adam Cole reunites with the Undisputed Kingdom. Kyle O'Reilly shown watching in the back. What do you think of this? The kind of as a babyface faction this time.
I mean, the Kingdom are his boys, so.
Yeah, and of course Roddy. And then MJF drops us with the stipulation that between Roderick Strong and Adam Cole, whoever wins 3 matches in a row first will get a match with MJF at Full Gear. What is your prediction for how this goes down?
They both win 3 in a row at the same time.
How would that... So, like, singles match, and then, like, they have a tag match together, and they win, so that's both their third.
Yeah. That's what I think's going to happen. Triple threat.
What I think is going to happen is... How do we...
Or
I think Roddy's going to get it.
Roddy just takes an L for the team. 1-2.
I think it's going to go the way that I think it's going to be kind of laid out, the way it's going to be stipulated is like they'll have the third matches on the same night. So Roddy wins and Adam Cole has to win for it to count. Like if it's the same night, it still counts, even though Roddy's match was technically first in the night. And then Adam Cole, or like MJF costs Cole the match because he doesn't want to wrestle Cole. So then he'll wrestle Roddy at Full Gear. And then maybe we'll get Cole versus MJF at World's End or at what's February's pay-per-view? Or March, whatever it's called. Revolution. At Revolution, like it'll be one of those. So I think Roddy gets the match at Full Gear. Who would you want to see these guys face? We know Adam Cole's facing Buddy Matthews first. Who are some guys you'd like to see?
Cole against... I don't know, because they've already kind of faced everybody I want them to face in AEW. So that's
give me Roddy versus Lee Moriarty.
Okay. I like that.
Who else can we put Roddy in the ring with?
Honestly, third match is Roddy versus Cole. MJF makes it so.
Ooh, that would be good. Roddy versus Lee Moriarty. Roddy versus... I don't even know who would be a good one. Also for Cole. Because it's kind of got to be heels.
Right.
I don't know. Well, I'd have to...
Takeshita?
Nah, I think he's too big for this. He's got to be doing something separate. Let me pull up the roster real quick and just see if I have any ideas.
Or Boy Khan.
Bishop Khan would be cool. I don't know if they would do that. Maybe they keep it in the House of Black and Cole has to beat like Buddy and Brody King. Roddy J. Lethal would be interesting. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's a plethora of guys that you could put them up against that would be really fun, cool matches. Adam Cole versus Nick Wayne.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Even though he's kind of involved in something else, you could put it together. I think that's crossover enough to where you could throw that together. Roosh versus literally either of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of cool matches you could put together here. Roddy versus Mortos. But we talked about Nick Wayne a little bit. Christian Cage revealed as Taz's attacker. So Hook and Christian Cage going into a feud.
Well, yeah, Taz is a father.
That felt too obvious. I wanted Hook to think it was Christian Cage, but then it turned out to be somebody else. Because that was a little too on the nose, because it was his dad and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at one of these points, we have to use the dad thing as a swerve, and it could have turned out that it was Kyle Fletcher, and that could be his next feud. Or, it could have turned out that it was Samoa Joe, or I don't know who else it could have been. But yeah, it felt like we could have gone a different direction with that, and it would have been a little bit better. But we can go chalk here, and it'll still end up being something pretty cool. And then we got to talk about the BCC feud, whatever, or feud story, whatever you want to call this.
The
They took out Chuck Taylor this week.
Killing spree.
Yeah, they killed Chuck Taylor this week. Rest in peace, Chuck Taylor.
He ain't coming.
Not really. He will be fine. This feud needs a protagonist.
Yeah, but who's it gonna be? Name one babyface who's big enough to be a protagonist.
Well, okay, the ones who are big enough, right? Just off the top of my head, that we have to rule out for certain reasons. Ospreay has something else
Too
going on.
big.
Swerve has something else going on. Nobody's too big for this. Moxley's the world champion.
Yeah, you're right.
Remember that.
You're right.
Kenny still out, right? Eddie Kingston's still out. So what we're gonna have to do, really, is build somebody up. So, because the way I see it, like there was that shot of all the baby faces. Adam Copeland also out would have been a good one for this, I think.
Macho Man himself.
Yeah, he Macho Man himself. So
I think the correct answer here is Orange.
It's Orange Cassidy. So what I was saying is, like, we have that shot of all those baby faces waiting on the arena. And
then half of them had to leave for their match.
Yeah. And so, like, just for me, it's like we have a Rebel Alliance, but we need to find our Luke Skywalker.
We have our TNA front line. We don't have no AJ Styles.
Well, the way I was putting it is, like, we have our Rebel Alliance, we need our Luke Skywalker. And I think that Orange Cassidy could be that. I think it needs to be Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin together.
Okay.
Eventually. That has to
right
be.
now, it's the main event Mafia against the TNA front line, where it's like Sting, Steiner, Nash, Booker T, those level of guys, kind of sort of, if like, Claudio, Mox, Yuta, versus P.D. Williams, Consequences Creed, like those level of guys of like the faces in
Garcia, Private Party, Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett literally on the TNA frontline side.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett's been there for both.
He breathes his woos no matter where he goes.
Yep. So then that is where we are with this. We need to establish a protagonist soon because it's just kind of a beatdown. And Orange Cassidy is scheduled to speak on Dynamite this week, so I think maybe we will get that. Because we kind of talked about it last week, I think. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but the storyline they've been telling is that just Orange Cassidy just doesn't have the confidence to think that he can stand up to the BCC. And so it felt like, especially because of his history with Moxley, he's been on the losing end. You know what I mean? So that kind of plays into this, and I think that it's been a good story so far if you're really paying attention, but I know that not everybody can really pay attention. So it's been kind of mid if you're just kind of, if you're not like watching it with like a, an intense kind of detail oriented way. So I really like the Nigel and Yuta interview. I like that Yuta called out what a lot of people had said, that like when Nigel was sad about Bryan losing, like Yuta straight up said, "What's wrong, Joker? Are you mad we killed the Batman first or whatever before you could?" I thought that was kind of cool because I think myself and many others kind of made that comparison that like Nigel was upset because like what is the Joker without his Batman?
My issue is that Yuta's voice is not a heel voice at all to me.
That's fair. That's a fair criticism. And then Ricochet and Leo Rush had a banger on Collision, but that's pretty much all that happened on Collision. You want to talk about Raw?
Yes.
First, we have to get it out of the way. The Carlito line. Did you catch this?
It did.
Yeah, I saw that headline. Shane showed me a headline that says Bryan Danielson is alive, now has 6 chickens from Fightful. So Carl, there's a how Triple H loves these segments where like we open on Adam Pearce talking to Wrestler X, and then as Wrestler X walks away, Wrestler Y comes in, right? So this time, Wrestler X was the Kairi Sane and Io Sky, and Wrestler Y was Carlito. And as he was walking in, Carlito apparently improv'd the line, "I gotta learn Chinese," referring to the two Japanese wrestlers.
You can definitely tell it was added just because of how fast it was edited out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also the way that Pierce no-sold it. Because I think if it was a line that was intended, Pierce would have had some sort of reaction. But the way he just kind of he didn't even sell shock. He just kind of looked ahead and then got back to his line.
Consummate professional.
Yeah. So it was a bad line. Shouldn't have been said. It's not. It never would have been an okay thing to say, but he would have got away with it 20 years ago. But it's not then anymore. It's not 2004 anymore. So, real poor taste from Carlito there. And then I think we got to talk about Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. A lot of people have been saying that the only real way it feels like we can pay off this feud is with Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio. So do you think that's possible?
Yeah, it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Okay, what version of that do you think we get to see in WWE, and how excited would you be for it?
Rhea squashes Dom.
So you think it's not gonna be a real match at all? It's gonna be a match that's
it's
gonna be an angle disguised as a match,
probably,
and that's how we finish this feud. Yeah, they've really booked themselves in the corner because this feud isn't about Rhea versus Liv anymore. It's only about Rhea versus Dom. And WWE traditionally, post-Attitude Era, really, really shied away from any kind of violence happening between men and women. And if it is, it's always the woman hitting the man. It's never the other way around. For good reason, I guess. But we've seen all over the indie scene that, this can be good. An intergender match.
Again, you'll see it in St. Louis.
Yeah, we'll be seeing one in a few weeks. I don't trust WWE to do this in a way that I like. Yeah, is good, I guess is the way. But I was trying to be a little bit more political about it. But yeah, in a way that's good. I think literally any other company in the world would do this in a better way, but not the company that has to answer to Snickers and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You know what I mean? Not the company that has to answer to those sponsors. And State Farm or Progressive, which one are they? AEW sponsored by State Farm. I think it's Progressive.
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Listen, sponsors are fickle. AEW lost Domino's for the greatest reason of all ever.
Dude, that was crazy.
Still my favorite Dynamite match of all time.
If you don't know about this, it was Chris Jericho versus
in my
Indy
favorite Chris Jericho AEW match.
Versus
Nick fucking Gage,
an indie deathmatch wrestler.
And Nick Gage did not tame himself for TV.
Yeah, so
he did all the bits.
One of his signature moves, I guess, is using a pizza cutter as a weapon.
Pizza cutter right to the forehead, this.
And the timing of it, he happened to do it right in a picture-in-picture with a Domino's commercial.
I think it's great. That's awesome. That's great timing.
Really funny. Yeah, but Domino's was not super happy about it. The point is, I don't think that a company that has the answer to as big of sponsors as WWE has will properly do an intergender match. They also apparently won't properly do an IC title match, as we had Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso, which was just a bloodline schmoz fest. Braun wins the IC title back.
Listen.
What'd you think?
I'm fine with the bloodline schmoz fest now that it's gotten Braun the title again.
Mm-hmm.
Jey Uso was a mistake.
I don't think it was a mistake.
I think it was. I think it wasn't the right time.
I think it was half a mistake. I think it was good that they put the IC title on Jey. But they should have done it 6 months ago so that he could have held the title for a few months before we had to get here. It's almost like they were planning the Bloodline story out to get us to Survivor Series. And they were like, oh, shit, we meant to get a singles title on Jey Uso by now. So they had him beat Braun Breaker. And then I guess it kind of works because costing Jay the IC title is what brings him back into the Bloodline story. Now we can kind of transition into SmackDown with this. I don't like how he's already buddy-buddy with Roman. I know that what they're going for is the enemy of my enemy trope, right? But I feel like Roman should have to answer for his crimes a little bit. I don't think he should just be able to return from. I'm going full Kevin Owens here, right? Like, we can't just forget what he did, right? Like, he tortured this roster. He really tortured Jey Uso for literally years. And it feels like he's getting into the good graces of the roster too quickly. I understand him being the good graces of the fans quickly because that's kind of how this works.
You gotta remember, Jey Uso is stuck in like 2017. In 2017, Roman wasn't torturing him.
Oh, and Yeet was cool. That's what it is. Also, on the Yeet thing, I know I've had my problems with it because I just think it's annoying and dumb. But I feel like I have like a real legitimate gripe with it this time. Because that scene from SmackDown, not this week, but last week, where Roman, Jimmy, and Jay come face to face in like the garage or like kind of the backstage area, right? And they have like this intense conversation. Like, this is your most serious storyline right now. Like, this is it's a family drama, like, real story. Not like a, carny wrestling story. Like, it's a real, like, soap opera, like, CBS Wednesday nights story. And so it's like this real intense moment between Jimmy, Roman, and Jay, where Roman says, "I'm proud of you." And Jay's response was, "You said no, Yeet, man." And I was like, okay, well, now we're 12. You know what I mean? Like, it was like this cool moment, and then it was just instantly super childish because he said the word yeet. You know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of things that just, it was like, oh, we're really getting somewhere. Oh yeah, this is still PG WWE. You know what I mean? But because I mean, really, what he should have done is said nothing. He should just looked at him and just kind of like brushed him off and walked away. But he said the word yeet in conversation. That's the real, like, that's a real, let's not do that. The whole, as a catchphrase and the whole waving the arms thing and the T-shirts and that, I get it. The kids like it. I'm over my annoying thing because I know that I was a Rey Mysterio, John Cena kid, and I know that people my age, the age that I am now, I know people then at that age were like, this is dumb. So, like, I kind of get it, but your most serious storyline, having someone just use the word yeet in conversation, just kind of ruined that whole segment. I don't know how you felt, if you even really noticed this. It's just something that from a storytelling perspective, I hated. Other things on SmackDown here. Did you catch the Orton Triple H promo from SmackDown?
No.
Oh, it was a really good promo segment. I have not been big on the way Triple H has involved himself on screen since he took over, but this was really, really good. His whole, Orton just demanding the match with Owens and being like, Triple H, no, you're not doing this. You're protecting Kevin Owens, and then Triple H be like, no, I'm protecting you. I'm afraid of what Owens is going to do to you. I care about you. It was just kind of a big moment. It was also interesting to see, I saw someone point out the juxtaposition of Triple H now being the smaller one of the two. Because like 15 years ago, Orton was in really good shape, but he was kind of a slimmer build, like late 2000s, and Triple H was just a big, steroid beef monster. And so it was just kind of interesting to see the juxtaposition where Triple H is now kind of the still in great shape, but kind of smaller, older guy running the company versus big, jacked Orton. But it was a really, really good promo segment. I really liked it. And then I have problems with the way we handled Andrade versus Melo Game 7. I don't like that they made it about LA Knight. The way it was finished, the finish of this is the 7th match of the series, and they make LA Knight the special referee, and I immediately was like, they're gonna schmoz this up. Instead of giving us a pure wrestling best of 7, they're gonna do something. And they did it in the worst possible way, where LA Knight just gets involved, hits his finisher on both guys, and declares himself the winner. I don't like that this is about LA Knight. I know we're setting up the triple threat for Saudi, but this was just... It erases all of the good you did with matches 1 through 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did you feel about it?
It wasn't a good choice.
Yeah. I guess we'll get to it more in predictions. I would ask you who you think should have won, but we will be doing Crown Jewel predictions later, so we can kind of talk about it then. And then the big story of the night, the Motor City Machine. Okay, easy for me to say, I guess. The Motor City Machine Guns defeat DIY in a banger of a match. Probably one of the better, if not like the best TV tag team match WWE's ever put on. Like, that was awesome. You could definitely see the DIY influence. They even talk about how Alex Shelley was a mentor for Gargano. He taught Gargano the move that Gargano uses as a finisher, which is also the move that Shelley uses as a finisher. So, like, the submission, the Gargano escape / Motor City stretch, is that what he calls it?
I think so.
Yeah. Definitely could tell, like, DIY, along with teams like the Usos and the Young Bucks and all these other kind of smaller athletic teams, you could see, like, how they were influenced by the Machine Guns. And then the Machine Guns instantly get their title match against the Guerrillas of Destiny, another Bloodline Schmoz Fest that ends up with a title change. And the Motor City Machine Guns are, as we mentioned earlier in the show, your WWE Tag Team Champions.
I'm fine with these Bloodline Schmoz Fests right now because they've resulted in 2 good title wins. So I'll take what I can get.
Okay, but let's see. When were DIY a tag team in NXT? Like 2017, right? Ish?
Yeah.
2016. So like eight years ago. If I said to you, the Motor City Machine Guns are going to beat DIY to get a shot at the Guerrillas of Destiny for the tag team titles, and the Usos are going to cost the Guerrillas of Destiny that match, what would you think?
The least possible thing not be the Guerrillas of Destiny having a title in WWE.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of like a Japan team, and I would believe everything else.
Yeah. That was it's really crazy to look at.
Oh, yeah, like CMG, they're going to go to WWE at some point. Yeah, I can see that.
Let's see. Quick recap of Halloween Havoc before we get into our special draft here. I think our NXT coverage is going to kind of slow down after this. I think it'll mostly just be the really big stuff because neither of us really have the time to watch NXT. And I don't have the CW, so, like, I can't watch it even.
Well, I don't have any live TV, so I'm just kind of on vibes, you know.
Tony D'Angelo beats Obafemi in the Tables, Ladders, and Scares match with help from the D'Angelo family. Obafemi obviously moving into the main event.
He's getting called up.
Yeah, or you think he's getting called up. You think he's going right to SmackDown?
Yeah.
You don't think he gets an NXT title run for a little bit? NXT needs a top guy right now.
He doesn't need you don't got the top guy.
It's Trick Williams and nothing. They need a second top guy. You can't have a wrestling promotion with just one top guy.
Obafemi shouldn't have been that good. Sucks to suck.
What would you book him to do right away?
Oh, U.S. title.
Oh, I was going to say beat Braun Breaker. Night 1.
Yeah, because that'd be fun, but I think U.S. title that would be even better.
Okay. Goldberg? Retire Goldberg.
It's going to be Gunther.
Think it's going to be Gunther? I think Gunther or Braun would be who retires Goldberg. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer beat Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. I believe it was Stephanie that pinned Roxanne, so that should set her up for a title shot.
I can see that. I think it's going to happen.
This match, no disrespect to Cora Jade, but the other 3 people in this match are the 3 most interesting people in NXT to me right now.
Yes.
And then Obafemi's probably a close 4.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Ridge Holland defeats Andre Chase in an ambulance match. Ridge Holland's... The most important thing Ridge Holland does is kind of later. Fallon Henley wins the gauntlet match for the women's North American title, and then is immediately attacked or confronted, at least, by Zarya, formerly known as Delta, the 3rd big signing in this women's trio of NXT signings. I don't know anything about her, so I am kind of interested to see how she does.
No, I don't think most people do. That's the thing.
So, and then Trick Williams defeats Ethan Page in the Devil's Playground match and the aftermath. Do you want to explain what happens after this match?
I guess. Oh, God. So Ridge Holland gets involved. I don't know why he's decided to get involved with this in this
Probably just
match.
because of the title.
I guess, yeah.
He just wants the title.
And then out of the goddamn crowd, Bubba Ray Dudley decides to get involved in his second promotion of the year.
Yep.
After getting involved in GCW like the month before.
Mm-hmm.
Decides to help Trick.
Oh, that was a few weeks ago.
Oh, my God, you're right.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
God, you're right. But anyways,
He helps Trick.
Sets up a match at the next NXT in...
Now, the thing I've been saying is Trick and Bubba versus Ridge and Ethan Page. This also could be Bubba as the special ref for Ridge versus Trick. I don't know. Something. He will be involved in some way at the ECW arena. Or not the ECW. The ECW arena, right? Yeah. Show. So, I keep getting 2300 and Hammerstein confused.
Different venues.
Yep. All right. We'll bring Jolka in now. And we are going to do the WWE match draft. So this is a kind of an idea inspired by the Ringer's Big Picture podcast. They do this kind of thing with movies where they will do a draft where they have a handful of categories you have to hit. You can draft them in any order. You just have to draft into each category. So our overarching category today is WWE matches. If we like how this goes, we may do other stuff like a Cena match draft since he'll be retiring soon, stuff like that.
Oh, kind of unrelated, but I think another company draft, the way you decided to do it, like a random style, also be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If we do a Cena draft, every match is going to be him losing on my end.
The WWE 223 showcase mode.
Yep. So before I use the randomizer to decide our draft order, it will be a round robin draft or not snake draft, where it goes back and forth. Our categories: a championship match, tag match, a stipulation match, TV match, Dave Meltzer over 4 stars, and wild card will be the 6 we always do. And then I will also have a special 7th category that pertains only to that specific draft. So our special category is WrestleMania match. Okay. So championship, tag, stipulation, TV, Dave Meltzer over 4, wild card, and WrestleMania. You can draft them in any order. You have to declare what you want because obviously, like, for example, a match like the Triple TLC WrestleMania X7 match could be a championship match, a tag match, a stipulation match, a wild card, or Mania, and maybe even Meltzer over 4 stars. I don't know what the star rating is on that.
Probably over 4.
Yeah. So that could fit like literally any of these categories except TV. So you have to
Right.
declare which one you're doing. Let me pull up a randomizer here. And go. So the first pick will be Shane. Second pick will go to Jolka. And third pick will go my way.
The snake, are we doing it? Oh, what?
Snake.
So look at like a good pick there.
Yeah, that's where I got last time.
Yeah,
too.
he wasn't it?
Yeah. Got the middle bit there. All right, so Shane, you're on the clock.
Championship match, CM Punk, Cena, Money in the Bank 2011.
Damn it. I wanted
That's a good
that.
pick.
All right. Cena versus Punk, Money in the Bank 2011. Were you there for that one?
Yep.
Yeah, you were in the building, so I guess it's fair that you get that one. Yeah, one of the greatest matches of all time. Not much else to be said about it. The iconic image of Punk blowing the kiss before going into the crowd. Like,
Right.
That's all Cole Cabana and the crowd partying with him too.
Yep.
This peak CM Punk moment there.
Yep.
All right. I'm doing a tag match, and that's going to be with the Motor City Machine Guns winning the tag team titles.
This week,
Yes,
the
because
match with
It was a really good
the
match.
Guerrillas of
to be
Destiny
fair.
match or the DIY match.
the Guerrillas of Destiny
Destiny
match where
match.
they won the titles.
Interesting.
All right.
Because
Interesting.
I believe that we're gonna see the significance of that, their third match, 5-10 years from now when they're going back and doing their highlight reels. That's gonna be one of their big things.
Let me see. I don't really know where I want to go because it's also like part of the strategy of this is like category wise. Where do I go? You know, what categories do I think are, potentially light?
Meltzer over 5's light.
Meltzer over four. Yeah, is a light category. It's not that bad because NXT is also included.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So there's a lot of NXT ones. But it's heralded as one of the greatest matches of all time. In my Dave Meltzer over 4, I think I'm going to take Taker versus Shawn from WrestleMania 25. And then just a personal, one of my favorites. I think I'll throw this in tag match. I will take the triple TLC I mentioned earlier, the WrestleMania X7, ENC versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys. So Jolka, it's back to you.
I almost took that one. That was going to be on my list.
Yeah, because tag team's kind of light too. Because WWE historically hasn't given a lot of time to the tag team division.
I'm gonna go with TV match, and I'm gonna do the one where Kane defends the WWE Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin the night after the First Blood match.
Oh, okay. All right. Shane, what do you got next?
I'm going to do TLC 1, SummerSlam 2000 for tag.
SummerSlam 2000. The same 3 teams, but it was the first one, the SummerSlam.
Yeah.
All right. And then your round 3 pick here?
My WrestleMania pick's going to be Taker versus Triple H at 28.
Another show you were in the building for, right?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
All right. Jolka, you're back on the clock.
All right. I'm going to go with... I'm going to take this while it's out there. My WrestleMania match, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, WrestleMania 12.
Yeah, I figured you would want that one. We watched that for a classic review not too long ago, and that is just a spectacular. I mean,
Such a great match.
It was the first televised WWE Iron Man match, and it was the perfect.
It peaked. It peaked the first one.
Yeah, the first one was the peak. For me, this is hard. I don't know where I want to go. Let me see. Let me look at my list of my favorite matches here. See if there's anything that stands out to me. Because there's definitely. With this specific category, it's almost too vast for me to figure out exactly what I want to pick. Ooh, I know. All right, for TV match, I am going to go with Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle Iron Man match.
That was a 30-minute one, right?
Yeah, I think it was a 30-minute Iron Man. Really, or it might have been a full hour. I don't remember, but it's a really, really good Iron Man match. And then for what do I want to do next? This is rough. For championship match, I'm going to take Cena versus RVD from One Night Stand. If for anything, just to screw over Shane, because I know that's got to be on his board. So give me Cena versus RVD from One Night Stand. That'll be my championship match. Jolka, you're back up.
All right, I'm going to do my Dave Meltzer over 4 stars. I thought that was kind of more of an important one to crack out. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart in a steel cage at
That's a
SummerSlam.
good one.
Yeah.
That was my wild card selection if I could get to it.
Yeah, that is a really good one. All right, Jolka, you're up. Or not Jolka, sorry, Shane, you're back up.
Give me a TV match. Give me CM Punk versus John Cena, Raw 2013.
So you've chosen 2 CM Punk versus John Cena matches.
Hey, it works.
It works. Then your next one.
What do I have?
You have stipulation, Meltzer over 4, and wild card.
Meltzer over 4, Masato Tanaka, Mike Awesome, one night stand.
Ooh, kind of a deep cut pick. It's gotten some press recently because it's a match that Gunther said he liked quite a bit. All right, what do you got?
What do I got left on there?
Championship match, stipulation match, and wild card.
All right. Championship match. I'm going to do The Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match.
From Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great one. So leaves me, I got stipulation, wild card, and WrestleMania left. Ooh, that is a hard one. For stipulation match, I'm going to go with Gargano versus Ciampa, the Chicago Street Fight from NXT TakeOver Chicago. That is personally one of my favorite matches, and I think is an incredible, incredible match. And I'm trying to think now what I want to do for my WrestleMania match. I think I'm going to go...
Snoop Dogg versus Miz.
Yeah, definitely Snoop Dogg versus Miz.
Shane McMahon versus The Miz.
I'm gonna go. Oh man, this is a tough one because there's so many options. I'm gonna go back to WrestleMania X7. I'm gonna go with Austin versus Rock from that WrestleMania. I think that's the best of their WrestleMania matches. So I'm going to go with that one. So, Jolka, you got stipulation match and wild card left to fill.
I'm going to do my wild card, Survivor Series, WWF versus WCW, and the ECW Alliance.
Okay.
Not a bad match.
That is a good one for a wild card. That is a good one.
That's always a fun match to watch.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Shane, you got your stipulation match and your wild card to fill.
All right, my wild card. NXT UK. Ilya versus Walter, COVID.
Okay, that was on NXT UK or on a takeover?
On NXT UK.
Okay. And then you have your stipulation match here. We're on our last round.
Ooh, that's a tough one because would War Games count?
Literally any stipulation counts. It could be 2 of 3 falls. It could be Extreme Rules. It could be Dominic Mysterio in a shark cage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right. War Games 2017.
Okay.
Undisputed Era versus Authors of Pain and Roddy versus Sanity.
Okay. Okay, and then Jolka, you have a stipulation match to fill?
This one's hard because I got 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And they're just both really, really good, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Orton versus Wade Barrett. John Cena's the ref, and if Orton wins, John Cena's fired.
Okay. That is kind of that is a good one. I don't remember what show that was on. Was that Survivor Series or something? TLC maybe.
I
know it was in 2010. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the show.
I don't remember the show either. I know it was a pay-per-view.
Yep. And then for me, it's one of my favorite moments in wrestling history. And I got to get Rey Mysterio in here somewhere. So for my wild card, I'm going to pick the 2006 Royal Rumble match. Such a special moment. Rey winning the Rumble for Eddie. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. Recap here, and then we can maybe discuss who we think had the best picks. So for Shane, in championship match, you had Cena versus Punk, Money in the Bank 2011 for the WWE title, of course. Tag match, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys from SummerSlam 2000, TLC. Stipulation match, you went with War Games, Undisputed Era and versus AOP and Roderick Strong versus Sanity. TV match was another Cena versus Punk from Raw in 2013. The match where I fell in love with the pile driver. Dave Meltzer over 4 stars. You went with Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome. Do you know how many that has?
4.25.
4.25. So it barely makes the over 4. Wild card, you went with Ilya Dragunov versus Walter from NXT UK. And for WrestleMania, you went with Undertaker versus Triple H in Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28. I believe Sean was the referee?
Yep.
All right. Jolka, for championship, you went with Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy, also for the WWE title in a ladder match. We all went with WWE title matches. For tag match, you went with the Motor City Machine Guns Grills Destiny match that happened this past week on SmackDown. Stipulation, you went Orton versus Barrett with special ref John Cena from 2010. TV match, you went Kane versus Stone Cold from Raw for the WWE title. Dave Meltzer over 4 stars, you went Brett versus Owen, which is 4 3/4 from from SummerSlam. I think that was the WrestleMania 10 match. That was 4 3/4. Let me see. I'm sure it's over 4 stars, but they had multiple matches, so I can't remember which one was which. And then you went wild card the Team WWF versus Team Alliance from Survivor Series 2001, and WrestleMania match Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 12. On my side, I went with Cena versus RVD from One Night Stand 2006 for my title match for the WWE title. Tag match, Edmund Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys from WrestleMania X7, also TLC. Gargano versus Ciampa from TakeOver Chicago in a Chicago street fight for my stipulation. Lesnar versus Kurt Angle in the Iron Man match from SmackDown for the TV match. Meltzer over 4, went with Undertaker versus Shawn from WrestleMania 25. Wild card, I went with the 2006 Royal Rumble. And WrestleMania match, I went with Austin versus Rock. So how do you guys feel about the boards you drafted here?
Pretty good.
I don't know, I really like mine.
I hope we all really like ours.
Yeah.
It is our choice.
I got every one of my picks.
Yeah, that's a really kind of out there set of picks that you got there, but it is still pretty good.
It's a generation ago picks.
Some, yeah. I was really surprised you picked the Bret Owen SummerSlam match over the WrestleMania match. I feel like I hear a lot more about the WrestleMania 10 match. I feel like WWF versus the Alliance really captures like the idea I was going for with the wild card category.
Yeah.
Because it's one that's kind of out there, but I think is still a really good match. Same with Ilya and Walter. Like, because that happened on NXT UK, like, that's kind of a hidden gem. Not a lot of people watch that.
No, I used to think Walter and Gunther were the same person, that he just got in shape.
Turns out they're not the same person?
Yeah, it turns out they are not the same person.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I also like Shane picking multiple matches that he was in the building to see. But yeah, I think we got some pretty good stuff overall. I think if you can't pick your own, who would you guys say had the best? I think I'd go with Shane's, but that just might be a generational taste kind of preference. So
I'd probably go with yours.
Probably go with mine.
I would go with yours just as a Rumble match.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I guess that makes me the winner. That was kind of fun. I think we could definitely workshop that a little bit more. On to the what's the show this weekend? The Saudi show, Crown Jewel. That's the show we're talking about. On to the predictions for that. So for this one, we'll start off Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. What do you think's happening here?
I hope Bronson wins, but it'll probably be Seth.
You're gonna pick Seth?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jolka?
I'm really gonna say Seth. Yeah.
You're gonna say Seth. I'm gonna go Bronson Reed. I think they actually pull the trigger and have Bronson win. I think that's the right choice, and I think that's what they'll do.
I just think differently because it's in Saudi Arabia. Like they're gonna want to see Rollins win, and when there's the next time they're coming back.
Bingo.
That's a good point. That is a good point. I guess I'm just booking. I guess I'm picking how I think he should. Triple H should go about it. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens.
Owens.
I'm also going Owens.
Yeah, Owens. Randy's gonna put him over good.
Yep. And then sorry to exclude you from this one, Jolka, but Shane and I always do a draft between the two of us whenever there's a four-way or more. So do you want to flip that coin and see who gets the first pick?
Can you do it? I turn my phone off when you do it.
What?
I turn my phone off when you do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
I guess Jolka is the neutral here, so I guess he might be good too.
Yeah. All right, what do you got? Heads or tails?
Tails.
Ooh, heads. I always get the first pick. So our teams are Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Kairi Sane and Io Sky versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. I'm just going to go with Bianca and Jade retaining. I think that's the chalk pick, and I think that's probably the better one. What do you got, Shane?
Team Stardom.
Kairi and
Yes.
Io? Or Damage Control, whatever you want to call them. It'd be really cool if they put the titles on NXT team, but I think it's more likely that Green and Niven would be the next up. So that leaves you with Metaphor. If you were just to pick out of the four, Jolka, which team do you think wins that?
That'd be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Let's see. We don't draft these because there's only 3. Triple threat match for the U.S. title. We got LA Knight defending against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. I'm gonna go with Andrade.
So am I.
I think Andrade wins here, and then Carmelo wins at like Survivor Series or maybe Saturday night's main event.
I think LA Knight keeps the title.
Okay, you said Andrade as well? Okay. So no love for Carmelo here, but I just don't think that's where his moment is.
Andrade
I mean, imagine him winning.
Andrade gets the belt, holds it for like a few days. Omofemi creams him for the belt.
It's maybe probably could have picked a different verb there, but okay.
Hey, we're in Saudi. Anything goes.
Yeah, I just think it'd be cool if Melo's moment was like in New York at the Saturday night's main event thing. Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan for the women's crown jewel title.
Liv, for the love of God.
I also picked Liv. What do you think?
Liv Morgan with a cash in on Nia.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Hopefully.
I think we've been saying this the last like 3 pay-per-views, but I think Tiffany Stratton
I'm going to skip this match unless Tiffany Stratton's in, so it's whatever.
And then, of course, probably Raquel gets involved to help screw Nia over.
Because that would be the first time they cashed in Money in the Bank outside the country, I think, right?
Unless they did it like randomly in Canada, then yeah.
Right.
Outside of North America, definitely. Yeah. As far as I'm aware. The way I see this going is ref goes down, Raquel Rodriguez like choke slams Nia or something, gets Liv the win, and then Tiffany Stratton runs in, Money in the Bank cash in. Tiffy time. Custom pink title on SmackDown.
Then which one does she take? Does she take?
She takes Nia's. She takes Nia's. It's a more interesting story if she takes Nia's.
I would say she takes the big crown one, the trophy.
I don't know if you can cash
Yeah,
that.
I don't think that's defendable.
Yeah, I don't think it's a defendable thing. I think it's just a once a year trophy.
Can you cash in on the trophy?
Yeah.
More title. I said this during the no review. More titles need to have big trophies that come with them.
Yeah. And then Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the men's crown jewel title.
Gunther.
I'm going with Gunther. I think Gunther has more to gain from beating Cody than Cody has to gain from beating Gunther. So, who do you think is going to win?
I think it's Cody.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's also one of those things where like Cody's like Tom Brady. It's like don't bet against Cody.
Yeah, you really can't at this point.
You really can't. And then a match that is technically yet to be announced, but will be announced at the SmackDown they taped last week. That'll be airing this week. So if you don't want any spoilers, skip now. Roman Reigns and the Usos versus 3 members of the Bloodline.
Oh, please, please, please be Jacob and the God.
I would assume that's who it'll be, but also Solo will probably be in it. It'll probably be Solo, Jacob, and like Tama Tonga.
Oh.
I don't know. Who do you think is going to win?
The OG Bloodline.
Who are you acknowledging here?
Jacob Batu.
Jacob.
He's like
So
Kurt Angle.
You think the current Bloodline is going to...
No, I think there was Roman don't lose, brother. Roman don't lose.
I don't think Roman and Jay will be able to coexist. I think the Bloodline win, also probably by cheating. The same way the Bloodline have won every match since COVID. Like, it'll be Bloodline by cheating.
You can't. The OG Bloodline are the original cheaters, though. Keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. Sami Zayn could cost him that belt. That match.
Yeah, you think Sami gets involved there? It is not... For the Cody Gunther match, it's not lost on me that Cody's currently feuding with Kevin Owens and Gunther was recently feuding with Sami. So, but yeah, those are our predictions for Crown Jewel. Now, tape up the light tubes, take the door off its hinges. It's time for Shane's GCW corner.
Oh my God, we have a big one this week. We're gonna start with the not biggest news of the week, I guess, because we can talk about it until now, I believe. Did we talk about the tag team match last week?
I don't remember.
So what that means is all fair game then. St. Louis will be host of a huge tag team match for the titles. Violento Jack will team with Takayuki Ueki. They'll take on Drew Parker and Rita Yamashita. They'll take on the garbage daddies of Alec Price and Cole Radrick. Mm-hmm. And they'll take on the tag team champions Violence is Forever in a 4-way match that'll be for the titles. It'll be very violent, very, very extreme, I hope. Then our next piece of news is a little more sad, all things considered. Sawyer Wreck has announced she's going to hang up the boots and retire after the Nick Gage Invitational. It's a big loss for GCW, though, in terms of everything. 5 years of career. Did pretty good for herself. So, and then some more matches for later on. And Halloween night, a match you're going to like. Mm-hmm. Mike Bailey is super crazy.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
That's insane.
And for Hawaii, the biggest matches are Officer Colt Cabana against Danhausen. Effie versus Mike Bailey in a match you told me about. Gringo Loco against Aries.
Yeah.
It's
in Hawaii.
And finally, Mance Warner will take on Kayama for the belt. And then possibly the biggest piece of news I've had in DC Corner so far is that Nick Gage has made his return to wrestling for Rob Feinstein and not GCW.
So he's done what exactly?
He's made his wrestling return. He's announced he's going to be he made his return in the ring. He announced he'll be taking on Drake Younger. Mm-hmm. That Drake Younger. Drake works at the NXT.
What was he in NXT?
The QAnon referee.
Okay.
And this is my thing. Nick Gage has not posted about GCW in months. Mm-hmm. And I have a timeline of events here that I want to go through. That is interesting. So in August, Nick Gage was announced to fight Drew Parker at GCW Homecoming. Mm-hmm. On that day, he does not show up. Lauderdale tells the crowd that Gage couldn't make it, and he doesn't know when to wrestle again. In September, the NGI is announced as the NGI. It is not called a Nick Gage Invitational. Lauderdale said it's far too soon to tell if Nick Gage will be there. And then a few weeks later, Lauderdale accuses the promoter of offering Nick Gage drugs again to set up a new promotion. It's rumored it's the Circle 6 guy. Mm-hmm. So definitely interesting there. And then in that point in time, Gage posts a strange remark about Lauderdale and quits posting about anything in GCW. Mm-hmm. In October, Nick Gage is announced for West Side Gun, Steel Have Eyes 4. And then he comes back to fight Drake Younger and Schlack. Mm-hmm. So if Nick Gage is gone, let's be honest, people know Nick Gage a lot of people do. Like he's the normie one now.
Yeah, we already talked about him once.
This is
show.
huge, a huge loss.
Especially because he's no longer affiliating himself with the company that runs the Nick Gage Invitational.
Right.
So do you think we see a name change for that event?
I think there kind of already is, kind of sort of, as just the NGI.
So they're kind of disregarding what the acronym stands for and just using the acronym now?
For now, yeah. They haven't called it a Nick Gage Invitational once. It's not Cage Matches Nick Gage Invitational, but they haven't called it that one time. Every other year, they've done it. They've called it that Nick Gage Invitational.
But now they're just calling it the NGI.
Yeah.
Interesting. If they were going to rename it, who should they name it after?
Oh, Marcus Crane.
Who?
Marcus Crane. Deathmatch guy. He passed away a few years ago.
I'll take your word for it.
Jimmy Rave, somebody,
Jimmy Rave. I've heard of Jimmy Rave.
Somebody like that, a guy who's along with us.
The Necro Butcher Invitational.
He's still alive, I believe it or not.
Okay. Anything else for the GCW corner?
Some more matches. Gary J against Masha, and the new TNA Women's Champion.
Okay. Cool.
Still some more matches for St. Louis. No, nothing too big has been announced so far.
Yep. On to our favorite things of the week. Of course, this is where I hand out the gold, silver, and bronze hot dog. Shane does the gold, silver, and bronze handshake. Jolka does the 3 count. So, Shane, as always, we'll start with you. We'll have the bronze handshake this week.
Ooh, okay. Good start to the week for me. I'm going to go with the women's tag team match in NXT.
The Julia and Stephanie McCurr.
Yeah.
All right. What gets number 3 for you, Jolka?
That promo you were talking about with Triple H and Orton.
That was like I said, that was really good. My bronze is going to go to FTR versus La Faction Ingobernable, the Rush and Dralistico from Collision. I thought that was a really, really good match. Silver handshake.
It's going to be that match.
That match
Collision,
FTR versus LFI. Yep.
But my favorite part of it was when Dralistico, I believe it was the Collision, this is this week. Dralistico refused to go down to take the finisher. That Rush had to pull him out of the ring.
What's your 2?
My 2 is Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY.
Okay. My silver is going to be that Orton Triple H promo segment. That was really good. And Shane, what gets the gold handshake this week?
MCMG winning the belts.
All right. And
Motor City Machine Guns winning the titles.
my gold is the Machine Guns versus DIY. So I like that a lot more than I liked the actual tag match where they won the titles. So I'm going to give it to that. But ultimately, across the board, hats off to the Motor City Machine Guns.
I'm not talking about the match, I'm about the moment.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. On to the upcoming matches for this week, the Lightning Round. On Raw, first we have Dominic Mysterio versus a mystery former world champion.
Oh, God.
Jinder Mahal.
Oh, my God.
Well. Not to bring back to ECW, but the last time they were in St. Louis, Jinder Mahal did make his debut. So he didn't mind.
Yeah. Damian Priest is the obvious pick.
Right. I think it's going to be a Jinder like swerve, though.
Could be Braun Strowman. Could be Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler.
Not that soon.
Former world champion.
He is probably a bad person.
What if it's John Cena?
He's probably a bad person, but the funniest possible outcome will be Lesnar.
I'm trying to think of an accidental world champion that would be
The Brian Kendrick.
He wasn't technically world champion.
He was world champion during the scramble match, but he didn't finish the match with the belt.
Oh, okay. Those scramble matches are fun.
Punk? Drew?
That'd be fun. Punk or Drew, yeah.
I don't think we see Punk until next week after the whole Saudi thing's over.
Yeah, right.
But Punk or Drew could be Finn Balor, his partner, his stablemate.
He just had a really good match in the Indie, so.
Goldberg?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm going to go Goldberg.
Goldberg, and oh, my God. He would destroy Dominic Mysterio.
All right. Excitement out of 10 without knowing who the opponent is.
I can say an 8, because it's surprising not knowing who it is.
I'm going with the 10 because he's getting beat up one way or
if it is
another.
Goldberg, it's 10.
One guy it won't be probably is Sheamus because he's facing Ludwig Kaiser again for some reason.
A 9.
Could you imagine if it was Gilbert?
I don't think he's been world champion. What about for Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser?
What was that one?
Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh, that's gonna be Sheamus.
What's your out of 10?
Out of 10, maybe a 7.
Yep. The War Raiders versus the New Day versus Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio for #1 contender to the World Tag Team titles.
That would be a 6.
Did I say a 9?
Yeah, that sounds really good. Big E, a returning Big E could be the world champion. That would make this New Day storyline interesting.
11 for sure.
On Dynamite, we have Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews, formerly Buddy Murphy.
8.
7.
Camille versus Chris Statlander.
A 6.
I know you don't really know who those are.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Shelton Benjamin versus Swerve Strickland.
10.
10.
That would be a 10.
This might be the title of 10 of the week. Young Bucks versus the Private Party for the World Tag Team titles. If Private Party loses, they are no longer a tag team.
I'm going to go with a 5 just because I'm worried that Party might lose.
Okay. To SmackDown here, Pretty Deadly versus the Street Profits.
That'll be a fun time. I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, probably a 6.
Io Sky versus Piper Niven versus Bianca Belair versus Lash Legend.
A little preview. I'll give it an 8.
That'll be a 9.
Liv Morgan versus Tiffany Stratton.
7.
That's a whole lot of yes. So that's 9.
All right. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Naomi and Bayley.
8.
7.
All right. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, Legacy reunion.
You put
Legacy versus Imperium.
It's a new day. It's a new generation. It's a
It'd
new
be
day.
crazy if they came out to the Legacy theme.
I would pop so hard for that. Oh my god.
On Collision, we have Kyle Fletcher versus Commander.
It's a 9.
All right. Thunder Rosa versus Harley Cameron in a Day of the Dead match.
4.
All right. What do you think a Day of the Dead match entails?
Skulls, I hope.
Spooky weapons.
Spooky weapons. A Kendo that goes, ooh, when you pull it out.
A pumpkin.
A pumpkin. Mariah May defending the women's title against Anna Jay.
Oh, dude, this has to be a 10th promo work.
Yeah, Anna's first real big test since she got back from Stardom. So I'm interested to see how that
With
is.
how the promos have been with this little feud, it's got to be a 10. No less.
And then just one from NXT here. Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Cedric Alexander and Javon
I'll
Evans.
give it an 8.
All right, what's the number one? What's the title under 10 of the week? The most exciting.
Shelton
match?
versus Swerve.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Shelton versus Swerve. What do you got?
Yeah, Shelton and Swerve. I like Shelton Benjamin.
Dude, he's insane.
Ain't no stop me.
Match recommendation of the week. I couldn't come up with one that pertained to anything really. So I threw on here Cena versus RVD One Night Stand 2005, which I ended up drafting. So I guess that's kind of pertains to something. Just an awesome match. I think from now until he retires, if I don't know what to do, I'm just going to throw a Cena match as the recommendation. So that's your recommendation. If you want to listen to more of us, Halloween Havoc 89 Classic Review is out now. And the WrestleMania 23 review should be coming out soon.
2 classic reviews this weekend, so
yep.
big weekend for those boys.
Yeah, we're getting all caught up. We're getting on there. So yeah, thanks Jolka for coming back on. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget to just enjoy wrestling.